Let's try another example. In this case, we have x plus 10 over x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 0. Well, our first condition is met because we have a single fraction or single rational expression compared to 0. Our second condition is met because the numerator and the denominator are both fully factored, so we don't have to worry about that. Now let's make a quick note again. Because we're working with greater than or equal to, that tells us that our endpoints are going to be included, so we're going to be using brackets. Except for in one place. What number, looking at this denominator, what number could I put in for x and it would cause a 0 denominator? That would be a 4, wouldn't it? Because 4 minus 4 would be 0. So if we're using a 4, then that cannot be, we cannot use 4 as a valid number, as a valid x value, because it would cause a 0 denominator. So I'm just kind of making a little note of that, and we'll come back to that as we go along. Alright, so we're going to take each one of our factors and set them equal to 0 to find our critical values. So we have a critical value at negative 10, and we have a critical value at 4. We're going to use these critical values to set up our number line. So I'm going to put, let's just put negative 10 over here, and let's put 4 over here, and we're going to use those to sort of separate out our number line. Now we're going to look to see what's going on around each of those areas. We have a factor of x plus 10, and we have a factor of x minus 4. So let's choose an x value to the left of negative 10, like maybe say negative 11, and let's plug it into both of these factors and see what the sign would be. Negative 11 minus 4 would be a negative number. Negative 11 plus 10 would be a negative number. Now let's try something between negative 10 and 4, like maybe 0. 0 minus 4 would be a negative number. 0 plus 10 would be a positive number. Now let's try something over here to the right of 4, like maybe say 5. 5 minus 4 would be a positive number, and 5 plus 10 would be a positive number. Now let's look to see what happens when we put those things together, because remember, we're dividing those two factors. So a negative divided by a negative would be a positive. A positive divided by negative would be negative. And a positive divided by positive would be positive. Now we need to decide which one of these areas we are going to take as part of our answer. Well, we're looking for the ones that are greater than or equal to 0. So that would be where the signs would be positive. So our answer here would be negative infinity all the way up to negative 10. Now negative infinity gets a parenthesis, but negative 10 is going to get a bracket, because remember, it's greater than or equal to. Then we're going to join that with everything over in this section over here from 4 to infinity. Infinity always gets a parenthesis. Now normally 4 would get a bracket because of the greater than or equal to. But remember, we cannot use 4 as a valid x because it causes a 0 denominator. So we have to put a parenthesis around 4. This then would be our final answer for the problem.